2021 is the year of condos. Period. Check my thumbnail. I didn't even put a question mark. I put a period. That's because of how confident I am in my statement. I'm actually going to give you 3 reasons as to why I feel very bullish on the future of Toronto condos. But before we get into the 3 reasons, I'm actually going to give you an overall perspective of the current state of the market. What I want you guys to realize and understand is that Toronto real estate is an incredibly hot topic of conversation. So you're gathered amongst family or friends, you're at the dinner table, first thing you're talking about most likely is weather and real estate. Needless to say, this topic brings in a lot of clicks and a lot of traffic to your website. So every time you see a bold headline out there, don't fall for what it might be saying. Half of the time, it's actually misleading and incorrect information. And the reasoning behind it is to simply drive traffic to the website and get clicks. And boy, does it do that. Let's take a look at the market so far in 2020, compare it to last year, which will give us a good idea of the health and the current state of the Toronto real estate market. So a lot of people will lead you to believe that 2020 has been a bad year. It's been a bad year for everyone. It's been a bad year for real estate. Well, actually, it's been quite the opposite. 2020 has been one of the best years for Toronto and Ontario real estate. I'm actually going to throw up a graph on your screen right now that will show you the current dollar volume of sales so far in 2020 as compared to 2019. So from January of this year to October this year, and January last year to October of last year, there has been an increase of $11 billion in total sales volume, that's with a B, overall for the year. In addition to that, we've also seen 3,000 more real estate transactions happen this year as compared to last year. So this is a huge difference, and it clearly is indicating the fact that the Toronto real estate market is incredibly healthy. Now, let's take a look at the condo market. A lot of people will lead you to believe that there's issues in the condo market. Well, so far in 2020, we've had 18,000, just over 18,000 total condo transactions. Compared to last year, this number sits at 20,000. So we're just shy of last year by about 2,000 units. Keep in mind, we had a lockdown. People weren't even allowed to leave their homes for a period of about a couple of months. So that is obviously going to slow down sales. And keeping that in mind, we've had an incredibly strong year for condos. Condos are definitely selling and selling well. What I want you guys to understand is the fact that we do have a lot of inventory on the condo market. And in addition to that, that's obviously putting downward pressure on our prices. This is why the prices in 2020 have remained relatively flat year over year compared to 2019. Now, I've already stated this before, I'm very bullish on the condo market going forward, and I'm going to give you reason number 1 as to why I feel this way. So reason number 1 is going to be interest rates. Bank of Canada, Stephen Poloz, the governor, has never actually been more clear with the Bank of Canada intentions going forward regarding interest rates. Believe it or not, they've openly gone and said that they will not increase interest rates for the next 3 years. Bank of Canada has never ever done this before. They've literally given you a cheat sheet. They've said, hey, we are not touching interest rates for the next 3 years. That's great news for you. Money will continue to be cheap and your mortgage payment will continue to be hopefully affordable. Reason number 2 is aggressive immigration policies. So the government of Canada, I'm sure you've already heard, I've mentioned this in my previous video, but it's worth mentioning again, have revised the immigration targets. This year, so far, obviously a challenging year, Canada has only taken in 130,000 immigrants. Going forward, that number will be tripled. Every year for the next 3 years, Canada will take in over 400,000 new immigrants. I've mentioned this in my previous video. Most new immigrants come with savings to buy a house, and those that don't will give an incredible boost to the rental market, which is currently what we need. And reason number 3, and this is probably the most telling reason of all, I'm going to put up a graph on your screen right now, which is going to show you the gap between prices of low-rise real estate and condos. So this gap is very important because if we look at January of 2020 of this year, we had a gap of $408,000 between the average price of a condominium and average price of a detached home. Fast track to October of this year, that gap has ballooned by $180,000 to $583,000. $583,000 is almost the average price of a condo. Average price of a condo sits in low 600s right now. So this gap has never been wider. It's nearly the biggest gap we've ever had between condos and low rise. So unless you guys have been playing a lottery and you've won a whole lot of money over the past 6 to 8 months, or maybe you invested into the Tesla stock, which has completely boomed over the course of the pandemic. They've actually done a stock split. Unfortunately, I didn't invest in a Tesla stock, even though I probably wish I did. So unless of you guys have just come into a whole lot of money, unfortunately, the reality is that these homes and semi-detached and townhomes have become completely and entirely unaffordable. Affordability, as we all know, drives the market. So if you cannot afford ground-related real estate, new buyers will turn to condos again. This is 100% going to be happening as our economy recovers, as people go back to work, as vaccine gets distributed. I'm extremely hopeful and optimistic regarding my outlook going forward for a number of reasons that I've already mentioned, but I'm also very happy to see Moderna, Pfizer come out with incredible vaccine results going forward. This is very good for the outlook for our future. Whether you're looking for resale, pre-construction, or an assignment condominium, your window of opportunity to get a good deal on a condo is, in my opinion, the next 2 to 3 months. You should be actively looking at condos right now, trying to secure a good deal, because going forward in 2021, there will be a lot more competition in the condo market once again. If you guys get any kind of value from my videos, I do ask that you subscribe on YouTube and on Instagram, and I'll see you again in the future.